Hi, it's Rich Lawrence, also known as Mobby G, or you may know me from City of Heroes as Ultra Knight. I'm back with another video for Ceg'S, the Super Entity Game server. This one is a little FAQ because we've gotten this question a lot in forums and Reddit and other places, asking what's the difference between Paragon Chat and Ceg'S? Valid question. Let's go ahead and let's try answering those questions for you. So first up, Paragon Chat. It's non-authoritative, meaning that whatever your client sends gets rebroadcast out to the other people that are on the chat server. Essentially, you could change your character to be Statesman and just fly at top speed wherever you wanted. And the client would just do it, and everybody else would see that. There is no type of security or anything like that, which we will talk a little bit more about when we get over to the Ceg'S part of the conversation. Also, it uses XMPP. It's an open source chat server. That's what Paragon Chat is built on, which was pretty ingenious, I gotta say. And with a little bit of extra code helping to translate what the client sends to something that XMPP can use and transmit out to everybody else and then retranslate back. At least that's how I understand it. But anyway, it uses the open source XMPP chat server, so anybody can basically run it. And if you go to the City of Heroes Titan, the COH Titan site, you can find the instructions on how to set up your own Paragon Chat server, which is pretty cool. Also, Paragon Chat uses the I-24 beta client, meaning it's the last version of the City of Heroes client that came out before the game was shut down. I have a bad, sad feeling about that. I know, we all do. But so they use the most latest client that was available at the time to build Paragon Chat on. Also, it's focused on interactive chat. That's the main purpose of Paragon Chat. It's in the name. You sign in, you can chat with other people using the I-24 client, seeing your own characters from City of Heroes, creating new characters from City of Heroes, and being able to have all the travel powers and all the other cool stuff that goes along with that. But you can't do combat. Combat is kind of difficult the way they're doing it, from my understanding. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. Happy to find out. But that means they've got to get kind of creative if they want to do any kind of combat in there, or they may not even be able to do combat. So we haven't really heard much about that. I'm not really sure myself, but I'm sure if I'm wrong, somebody will pipe up, and I would be happy to find out that I'm wrong, that combat is not going to be anything that's going to be happening with Paragon Chat anytime soon. Next up, Ceg'S, the Super Entity Game server. So the difference here, it's an authoritative server. When as we're building it, it basically means that you can't just change your character over to Statesman or Back Alley Brawler or Positron or whoever else and then go running around. You build your character just like in the original game, and you walk around with that character. That's what you got. Everything that we're using, that we're building with for the server, is open source code. So a lot like XMPP, but this one we're custom building from the ground up. Now, Ceg'S has been in production. I guess that's the right word. But anyway, it's been code. It started back in 2006. So we've come a long way. There was a big gap there where nothing really happened. But ever since, I would say, this past summer in 2017, July or so, maybe August, we started seeing new life. We got a couple of people coming in that decided, hey, I can help out, and they started adding some code to the GitHub repository, and that kind of led to more people coming on. It actually got my attention. I've been following Ceg'S for a while, came in and started seeing that it was getting some activity, and I figured, well, this is where I can do my thing, and here I am doing my thing. But it's all open source code, and this is basically helping to make it easier for everybody to see what's going on and participate if you have some coding experience in C++ and object-oriented language. Next up, we're using the I0 client, meaning we're using the first beta client, or relatively first beta client, that was released for the game. This is our foundation that we can build upon, and then from there we can add all the other client features from, like, say, issue 6 or issue 12 or whatever, and move on from there. Also, we're going to be actually creating a new client. We've already started some of that work in what you would see in the source code, like the auth exerciser and all of that. We're basically going to take the, what we can get, or what we can learn from the I0 client to build a new client that's open source, where we won't have to rely on this software. There's a lot of good upside to that, simply because, one, the old client is 32-bit. The rest of the world is moving to 64-bit. Plus, we're really not sure how we would add any more elements to the client in regards to new costume pieces or anything else without actually taking something out. It's all kind of hard-coded there, and we can't change anything in those clients. So by going to a new client, this is going to afford us the ability to add more pieces from the community. So you can create a whole new costume piece and add it to Ceg'S in this new client to be used by everyone else that wants to play. So big upside there. Also, we're focused on the original gameplay, meaning being able to do missions, task force, combat. All of that kind of stuff is going to be part of the Super Entity game server. That's what we've originally started out planning on doing, and that's what we're going to stick to as we keep going on. So combats, missions, all that kind of stuff, that's going to be part of Ceg'S. And then, of course, where are we going to get all that stuff from? We can't just distribute the NC Soft stuff, because that's all intellectual property owned by them. It wouldn't be right. So that's where you guys come in, community content. You're going to be able to create your own content to add it to your own server if you run it, or share it with other people so that they can run it on their servers if they want. So it's all going to be a big community event where you can take your stories, your mission arcs, your characters, if you want, that are all part of those stories and missions, and share them with other people that are running the Ceg'S server. So that's the real difference between Paragon Chat and Ceg'S. Hopefully I've answered all your questions. If you still have some more questions, by all means, let us know, and we'll add it to our FAQ over at GitHub. You can see the address there, github.com/segs/wiki/FAQ. We're working on something shorter, so give us a little bit. But that's where you can go right now to see the FAQ, and that will be changing as we go along. We've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of content that we can start putting up there, and going from there. Thank you. That's everything we've got for this. We appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.